After UV, now we are in much smaller wavelengths. Beyond the UV, now we are, this was UV, this was visible. Now we are going to much smaller wavelength. Now we have turned to X-rays. Beyond UV region, the electromagnetic spectrum lies the X-ray region. Before UV or below UV, what is this called? This is called X-ray region. We are familiar with X-rays because of its medical applications. So we all have gone to X-ray diagnostic centers where we get the X-rays done, and it has medical applications. It covers wavelength from 10 to power minus 8 meter, that means 10 nanometer, down to 10 to power minus 13 meter. So very small wavelengths. Now these wavelengths are getting even smaller than the size of atom. One common way to generate X-ray is to bombard a metal target with high energy electrons. So how X-rays are generated? So we all know how visible lights are generated. Visible lights can be generated by any visible light source. UV lamps can generate UV light, and IR radiation is generated by hot bodies. Microwaves are generated by klystrons or gun diode or magnetron, and these radio waves are generated by moving charges in the conductors. Now X-rays, how can we generate X-rays? So if we have a metal target, this is the metal, and if we send atoms with or electrons with very high energy to this metal target, then X-rays are produced. If electrons are hitting this metal target very fast, then X-rays are produced. This is the method of generating the X-ray. Hit the metal target with very highly energetic electrons. X-rays are used as a diagnostic tool in medicine and as a treatment for certain forms of cancer. So this can treat cancer, X-rays can treat cancer and can be used in diagnostic. But long exposure to X-rays again give us cancer. So this can treat cancer, but long exposure to X-rays can give us cancer as well, because X-rays damage or destroy living tissues. So what X-rays can do? X-rays can damage or destroy living tissues and organisms. Care must be taken to avoid unnecessary or overexposure to X-rays, because overexposure to X-rays can also give cancer. Definitely a large amount of UV is needed to get cancer, but a very small amount, definitely more than that we get in a typical X-ray diagnostic. If we get too much exposure of X-ray, we again get cancer. So we should take utmost care when we go for the X-ray treatment or X-ray diagnostic. Next are gamma rays. These are highly energetic. So we initially saw this is very high energy. They lie in the upper frequency range. So that means frequency is very high. Upper frequency range, very high frequency of the electromagnetic spectrum, and have wavelengths from 10 to power minus 10 meter to less than 10 to power 14 meter. So the wavelength is 10 to power minus 14 meter. That means almost the size of nucleus. This is almost the size of nucleus. This high frequency radiation is produced in nuclear reactions. So where it is produced only in nuclear reactions, and also emitted by radioactive nuclei. So radioactive nucleus and nuclear reaction produce these gamma rays, and these are very energetic and very small wavelengths. They are used in medicine to destroy cancer cells. So all the higher energy radiation can be used to treat the cancer. Now we have learned about all the types of electromagnetic radiation. Let us see the summary. So table 8.1 summarizes the different types of electromagnetic waves, their production and detection. That means how do we produce them and how are those detected. As mentioned earlier, the demarcation between different regions is not sharp and there are overlaps. So demarcation means we cannot put a straight line that after this is completely UV or below this is not UV. So there is not a clear line. Some overlap is also there. So let us start with the radio waves. So what is the wavelength for radio waves? Definitely more than 0.1 meter, very large, and frequency is very low, because frequency is 1 by lambda. Frequency is proportional to 1 by lambda. If wavelength is very large, frequency is very low. How do we produce that? By rapid acceleration of rapid acceleration and deacceleration of electrons in aerials or conductors. How can we detect them? By receiving aerials or antennas. Next are microwaves. So microwaves are smaller than this, 0.1 meter to 1 millimeter. So definitely smaller than this. How do we generate? Using the klystron or magnetron. How can we detect them? By point contact diodes. We can detect these microwaves. So microwaves are also used in this military applications or radar. Infrared. So infrared can start from 1 millimeter and can go up to 700 nanometer. So here this limit is bigger, this limit is smaller. How can we generate these? Vibration of atoms and molecules, generate them, or any hot bodies. How do hot bodies generate infrared? By vibration of atoms and molecules. Now what are the ways to detect them? So thermopile bolometer, infrared photographic film are some of the method by which we can detect them. Next is the visible light. Visible light from 700 to 400 nanometer. How can we generate them? Electrons in atoms emit light when they move from one energy level to another lower energy level. So these are emitted by electrons in an atom. So this we will learn what is this process and how the light is produced, but for the time being, the electrons in atoms emit light when they move from one energy level to another lower level energy. So what is the detection method? Our eye, photocells and photographic film. Our normal camera, old camera, photographic film camera. So these are the method to detect these normal light or visible light. Next is ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is less than 400 nanometer to 1 nanometer. So this is ultraviolet. Inner shell. So how these are produced? Inner shell electrons in atoms moving from one energy level to a lower level. So this is when inner shell electrons, not the outer shell electrons, in the atom move from one energy level to lower energy level. Then we can generate these ultraviolet rays. So how these can be detected? By photocells and photographic films. These can be detected. Next are X-rays. X-rays are from 1 nanometer to 10 to power minus 3 nanometer. How do we produce them? Using X-ray tubes or inner shell electrons. So what we do in X-ray tubes, we take a metal target and hit this metal target with very highly energetic electrons. Then X-rays are produced and these are very harmful. How can we detect them? By using photographic film or Geiger tubes or ionization chambers. So these are the methods to detect them. Next is gamma rays. Gamma rays are the highest energy waves or smallest wavelength. So see, this is 10 to power minus 3 nanometer or less than that, less than 10 to power minus 3. So these are very small. So how do they produce? Radioactive decay of nucleus. So this is produced only in the nuclear activities. How can we detect them? By using photographic film, Geiger tubes or ionization chamber. So in this way we summarize all the electromagnetic radiation and we learned that only a very small part, this visible light part, we can see out of this very big spectrum. And especially this is moderate energy or medium energy, this is low energy, low in terms of energy, this is very low energy, very low, and this is very low energy. That's why we use radio waves in communication, because they have very low energy and cannot harm the tissues. But if we move this side, this has high energy, this has very high energy, and this has very high energy. So if we move towards this high energy spectrum, so our tissues can get damaged and they can cause, or these rays can cause cancer. So a large exposure of UV can cause cancer, a moderate exposure of X-rays can cause cancer, and even a small exposure of these gamma rays can cause cancer. But spectrum towards this side of light cannot cause the cancer. So this was about the electromagnetic radiation, complete spectrum of the electromagnetic radiation. One must know how the rays are produced and what are the uses of those rays. So now we have reached to the summary and this chapter is now ended.